All right, guys. So our next topic here is going to be about the upcoming MCU Disney Plus show, Falcon Winter Soldier, which from the start had always been my most anticipated Marvel Disney Plus show. It was Falcon Winter Soldier. But ever since we saw all the trailers that came out and everything for like Loki and all that stuff, like prior, like at a big Disney press conference thing before we even got WandaVision out and everything, because WandaVision has surprised me and has gone in a way that I never really thought it was going to go. And I think a lot of people probably feel that way. I think most are liking it more than they thought they were going to for whatever reason. I don't know. That's how I kind of feel about it. Like, but either way, because like Mandalorian, I expected to like. Falcon Winter Soldier, I expected to like. WandaVision was always a question mark. But what after all the trailers, though, WandaVision aside, because WandaVision is great. The Loki show is actually what I'm kind of most anticipating now at this point, because that trailer like looked awesome. I don't know about you guys, but I really liked it.
Low key,
I
I do look forward to the Loki show.
yeah, like low key, I'm with you there. I'm with you for sure. But with this though, what we did get was some confirmation. We were kind of talking about this before. It's like I don't really know. Maybe take this with a grain of salt because the headline I think is kind of maybe just a clickbaity headline, but there is actual substance to it, and I think it was just poor phrasing because they're suggesting that the main villain, who's going to be. You were saying too that this is who was played Infus Nest, right?
Yeah.
So, she is playing a character called Carly Morgenthau, which there's two things for that. One, they've gender bent the villain, Carl Morgenthau, and I'm not familiar with this criminal organization within the comics, so like, don't criticize me too much. I'm just reading the article, okay? But apparently, there's a Carl Morgenthau in the comics, and now for the show, they've switched to a female character and calling it Carly Morgenthau, and that's the assumption. It's not supposed to be like the daughter of Carl or whatever or the wife. It's supposed to be like no, that's just who it is now. They're just replaced it with Carly, and they're moving from there for a group called the Flag Smashers, and that's where I don't really know, like, take this with a grain of salt because it's suggesting that this is the main villain, but I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, Zemo's in there, and Zemo was, like, the main villain of a big Marvel movie already, so I feel like it's more logical that he would be. There were some people out there saying, though, that it looked like Falcon and Winter Soldier in that latest trailer were, like, working with Zemo. I didn't really see that, so if you guys saw that, I don't know, maybe comment on that below because I don't know. The trailer was just kind of quick scenes, so there wasn't a whole lot of like really anything given, like from what I saw. You did see a couple people with this mask on. That's about it. At least one person, which I see at least would have been her. But anyway, this Carl Morgenthau character, who was also known as Flag Smasher, was the leader of Ultimatum, which is an anarchistic group bent on destroying the concept of nationalism to bring about a united world. So there we go.
Concept.
Yeah, I don't think that necessarily. I think it's just going to be like a side villain, side arc thing that's happening while like the big thing's actually happening. So that's just what I just don't see this being like the big thing that freaking Winter Soldier and Falcon have to deal with. It
That's
doesn't come across to me.
I don't mean in a bad way. She's, especially in Star Wars, she's not exactly the most imposing character. At least
I don't know. You look at Wanda Maximoff. Does she look imposing to you when she's just standing there?
Good point.
So I don't. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think Flag Smasher is supposed to have any powers though. So I don't know. But I mean, my thing is with it is like we got Batroc the Leapers in the show. Zemo's in the show. I just figured one of them would be like the main villain of the thing, and maybe someone else. I don't know. I'm not super familiar with Flag Smasher, and which is another reason I kind of find it unlikely that that's the main villain. But who knows? Like, what do you guys think about this? I more or less thought it was interesting that they did the switch the genders of it and going on with this, and then just learning about who they were and the inclusion of Flag Smasher and all that. So I find that interesting to be another little nugget of the overall story in the show. But you guys got any thoughts on
it? I don't have a lot. This does not seem like a main villain. That seems like a very clickbaity headline there. I think that if anything, this could be a underling or an organization that Baron Zemo is using or manipulating to sow discontent or some sort of anarchy to further his plans. But as far as the main villain, that's very I think that's more clickbaity than it is actually insider information or actual truth to what direction the story will go.
I am
Yeah.
totally with you. Well, what do you guys then? Because I said off the top after the trailers, I'm probably more looking forward to Loki than anything else that's upcoming right now. Where do you guys stand on that? Because I've not that I don't want, like, I'm very glad this is coming out like very shortly after WandaVision. Don't get me wrong.
I think Loki will be good. I like Loki as a character.
Is that your most anticipated
I
of
would
them?
say so. Yeah, low key, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still all in on the Falcon Winter Soldier. I just the history of the Captain America franchise, and while Cap is gone, I think I mentioned last or while Cap is gone, this Falcon and Winter Soldier in the Cap family of characters, and so this is going to be a continuation of Cap legacy, or at least the Cap films. And when Feige announced that this was basically a movie that they have broken up into 4 parts, that made me even more excited for this. So I'm this is by far my most anticipated Disney Plus Marvel thing. And that's actually saying something because out of everything in entertainment coming out, all the MCU stuff jumps. This is this. Yeah, definitely. This is where I'm eager anticipated to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's still up there for me. That Loki trailer I thought was better than anything that these ones have put out. So that's probably the best way to explain it is like I was already excited for this like up here, but I was kind of more like here with Loki. And then when Loki trailer dropped, I was like, holy shit. Like that looks way better than I could ever imagine it was going to be.
I think the reason that Loki hasn't made that leap for me yet is it looks phenomenal. It looks like it could be a great show. I just don't know how influential it's going to be on the MCU as a whole. I feel like this is a more like Falcon Winter Soldier is a more like this is going to affect greatly the future of the MCU. I think we're going to basically, for lack of a better way of putting it, I think that we're going to establish who picks up the shield and who carries the shield for the next couple phases of Marvel movies. Versus the Loki series looks like it could just be a really fun show that just kind of self-contained, doesn't play a larger part in the MCU, which is fine. I love shows that are a little more self-contained. They can be excellent, but that's I think why it hasn't leapfrogged Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's
I
one
get
of the
that.
things that I'm actually like super excited about with Loki because if you remember, we had that article come out where the writer or somebody said that like they were already working on season 2 of Loki, or they just kind of offhand said like Loki season 2, like blah blah. So like kind of insinuating that like yeah they're gonna move on with more seasons of Loki post this one, whereas WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, these ones are more intrinsically tied into the MCU and the current story arc. I don't think they're going to be able to be as open-handed. Like we might only get 1 season of WandaVision, 1 season of Falcon Winter Soldier because it might not fit in anywhere else, and they have to fit in. But with Loki, you can just keep doing whatever you want. It's technically like a different Loki, and they're going to be doing things with the the time whatever they're called, the time police or whatever. Forget what they actually call them in the thing, but like I don't know, I just feel like the door's open for them to just keep going on and just do like some weirdo stuff, and like that has me excited. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much why I'm looking forward to it a lot. So one of the antitheses of what your excitement is for it is inherently what makes me even more excited for the show because it could just be everlasting in a lot of ways. But anyways, guys, what do you think about this? Are you familiar with Flag Smasher and Ultimatum and all that good stuff? And are you excited to see them make an appearance in Falcon Winter Soldier? Do you think that they are indeed, or she is indeed, and Ultimatum are indeed the main villains of the show? Let us know what you think down in the comment section below.